Hi, it's Mr. G, and today we're going through 12.6, the trade-off between economic output and environmental protection. And this, of course, is a very, controversial topic because a lot of different politicians always come in. Some are very pro-environment, and they'll be like, we're going to do all of this. And basically try and help the environment. A lot of people come in, a lot of politicians, and like we're very pro the economy, getting jobs out there, etc. And so they're going to push for the economy at the detriment to the environment. And so economists look at it in terms of a production's possibilities frontier. So here's an example of what we have. So we have economic output on the y-axis, environmental protection on the x-axis. And so if you look at it, you can see that, like with the production's possibilities frontier, we know that all the points on the actual line on the frontier essentially are productively efficient. What does that mean? It means, of course, that, it's just the choice between allocation, but we're still using all of our resources. We're still allocating everything efficiently. What happens now is a question of allocative efficiency. What is the best point on there? And some countries might choose a point like A. It's like, no, we're very concerned with economic output. We honestly don't really care a lot about the environment, so we're not going to do a lot. Some countries might be at a point E. Point E is like, no, we're very concerned with the environment. And we're willing to give up economic output as a result of it. And so this is really a value and belief that comes in, through the governments, through countries, if people vote in their governments, etc. It's kind of, putting their beliefs into it. And so politicians will choose a point and try and go with that. But as you can see, it's a trade-off. You cannot really have both. You have to either choose environmental protection or you have to choose economic output. And so as we go through harder times, and the economy's going down, politicians will often go for economic output to try and improve things. And environmental protection will go down, and better times will be more concerned about the environment again, and we'll go a little bit more down towards that line. The only thing economists, of course, can agree on is that a point like F would be inefficient. There would be no point to be going to point F because we can literally produce at point C or D and do better than point F, and it wouldn't cost us anything. There's no trade-off with it. So why would we even want to be at a point like F? Because that is inefficient. And that can often be the result of command and control policies as well, not allowing basically our resources to be utilized fully. So that comes back to some of the problems with command and control policies. A lot of people are with the government, just go ahead and put out a law and everything will be fine. It doesn't necessarily work that way. And so you have to kind of look at that. And so that's where more market-oriented policies essentially would work better in this particular case. So when they're trying to make decisions about what to do, they always look at the marginal benefit versus the marginal cost. And we talked about this in the last video as well. And we also talked about how the marginal benefit, it's not easier to necessarily quantify a marginal benefit because, how do you measure the benefit of everything? And so, but of course, marginal cost as well is how do you determine all the costs, okay? And sometimes we like to focus on the benefit in terms of, we look at, we want the environment, we like things clean, etc., but sometimes the social cost is also hard to determine. Like, what is actually going to be the cost of this? And so a lot of politicians will always overstate the marginal cost so that they come at a point that would be different, because if you overstate the cost, you're not going to be going as far along with the marginal benefit. So they'll sometimes overstate the marginal cost just because they don't know what the social cost is of a decision they make. What is going to be the decision? And so these are some of the difficulties. Economics is not going to give you the answers to this. It's just going to allow you to analyze in ways to realize what's going on in the situation. We don't want to be at a point F, but we want to be on the line. Where we are is a value and belief thing of what we believe is important. And so all of these things factor into any decisions. But understanding these are important to understand, the overall decision-making process that governments have to go through. Okay, so this was 12.6. That's Mr. G. I'm Mr. G, and that's it. So bye for now.